Hello, everyone. This is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today, we're going to talk about how Chase Bank has finally put things in place to consider changing the way that they approve for credit card applicants. Let's go straight into it. So, if you haven't heard the news, not just Chase Bank, but Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, and a couple of other if you've been watching my channel, I like to call them drive-by banks, right? Banks that you can drive by, not that kind of drive-by, but obviously banks that you guys can drive by and see that have physical, brick and mortar locations. Either way, Chase is known, as well as Wells Fargo a little bit, but Chase is known for being sticklers about their credit card process, their mortgage process, hell, majority of their processes. And we get it. They don't want to put themselves in a situation where people can default, right? But there's no crystal ball to tell how a person can default or, whatever the case may be. And that's why they look at credit scores. But the thing about it is that there's a new wave of society where a lot of people are just focused on having a certain type of income. And you honestly can't blame them for it. So essentially what they're doing is they're still looking at credit scores, but they're not using that as the end all be all. They're looking at bank account data. They're looking at how people pay their rent. So these are things that, again, are going to be major roles. So if you ever thought about being late on rent or thinking that you got a great relationship with your landlord, I don't know how they're going to be able to kind of test that theory. But as more and more things are becoming electronic, there has to be a third party to double check certain things. Obviously, there's an increased risk once you have let consumers have access to things. And I know not all consumers will lie, and it's not right that banks can lie either, right? Because it's not like they ever have anything together. But as long as they have the majority of the money, and we're going to always have to play by their rules. But the good news is that they are now trying to keep up with the times. Unfortunately, they kind of put their history between, racial differences and things of that sort. As we all know, because of George Floyd, a lot of companies are changing the way that they look at, blacks and Hispanics. I hate to bring race into certain videos, but the thing about it is that it does play a role in the financial sector. Selling cars for 6 years, I mean, I'm going to be honest, so the most people that didn't have the best credit scores and things of that sort just so happen to be black and Hispanic, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone black and Hispanic has those particular issues. It's not necessarily a racial thing. It's more so the education part of it, but it comes from years of the racial history. And, now they kind of put things into place where it's like, yeah, I work a job, but I'm not so concerned about necessarily building credit or concerned about getting a Chase credit card versus some people, and not want necessarily say race necessarily, but versus a lot of people that may have the financial education or grew up in households where Chase was kind of thrown around the name and things of that sort. But people do qualify for Chase Bank, regardless of race and regardless of age. But based on the history of that, I think that's where they're leaning towards that. So but you guys feel free to read that article if you want. But this is major for the financial industry because a lot of people always kind of put, a prestige behind Chase, just like people put a prestige behind, American Express. So that's going to be a great tool, especially if they're looking at other factors outside of credit scores. There is no set date when this is going to come out. Of course, as we know, a lot of things are trending right now. So it could just be a publicity stunt. We don't know. Chase doesn't clearly need any publicity at all. But we'll see how this goes. But this will be a major game changer if they do come out with some things. And I think all banks should consider, coming out with different types of products, because there's a lot of companies coming out with, credit cards and, different types of financial products that are geared to look at things outside of your credit score, but we're going to see how this goes. I'll keep you guys posted. Major game changer well on the way. So hopefully that gets launched this year. I'll most definitely keep an eye on that because a lot of competition is popping up that's not looking just 100% at credit scores. They're looking at income and other factors that really matter outside of your credit score. So of course, if you like this video, like it. You want to share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe as we have nothing but great content on the way. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.